you guys. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a post-fight reaction to UFC 239. It seemed like a lot of people were interested in this event. A lot of boxing fans were watching this event. Of course, I was watching this event. And let's talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it a little bit. UFC 239 delivered. Great night of fights. We got knockouts. We got, it was just some of everything, man. UFC always delivers. Excellent card. Excellent. Just everything was A1. Diego Sanchez versus Michael Chiesa. I mean, Michael Chiesa is just so big, so strong at 6'1". I don't see how he was making 155 for all that time. He defeated Diego Sanchez by a wide unanimous decision. I mean, it had to have been 10-8 rounds. Diego Sanchez had nothing for Michael Chiesa at all. Whenever there were striking exchanges, he had the upper hand in that as well. But it was mostly a grappling match, and Michael Chiesa pretty much just dominant. Just Diego couldn't do nothing with him on the ground. Totally overpowered. It just had nothing for Michael Chiesa at all whatsoever. Michael Chiesa looks like a real player at 170. Diego Sanchez is a Hall of Famer now. He may want to reevaluate his approach to the fight game if he continues to fight. Him having that one guy as his movement coach, as his trainer, head trainer, just one guy in his corner. He had literally one guy in his corner. And that's what happened. It looked like it. It showed. It definitely showed. What type of sparring partners did you have? Likely none at all. But we're going to move on to the next fight. Luke Rockhold versus Jan Blachowicz. I might be saying this name wrong. I'm sorry, but dude earned my respect last night. He defeated Luke Rockhold by knockout. Luke Rockhold moved up to 205. This is his first fight, 205 pounds. He started off strong. Nice. He got some real good high kicks. Nice, good round high kicks. He stopped throwing for some reason. He had like a little sleeve on his ankle, on his shin. I guess he'd been having staph infection. Seemed like those guys down there. I think who's he training with? They be having staph infection and shit. So he had a thing on his leg, and it seemed like he faded quick. At 205, it seemed like he faded pretty quick. He lost a lot of steam real fast, and then Jan Blachowicz pretty much caught him with a left hook on an exchange, and he was totally aside of him. Like Lou Rocco didn't see it coming. He was totally out of position and got caught. Just was out before he hit the ground. Bloop! That's exactly what it looked like. That sound I just made, that's exactly what it looked like. He was out. It's like his head got hit by a crane hook and knocked his head back. That's what it looked like. That's his reaction to getting punched by Jan. Very good win. That was actually Jan's biggest win of his career. So he got a little bit of momentum now going into his next fight. Actually, he lost his previous fight against Thiago Santos. We're going to talk about him later. Then we have the quick one. The fastest KO in UFC history is now owned by Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. He went out there and knocked out Ben Askren in like 2 seconds. They said it was 5 because the referee had to come over there and stop it. But dude was out as soon as the knee landed. He was out stiff, unbelievably stiff. It was probably one of the biggest knockouts of this year. We had some nice, impressive KOs from all sports this year. That's got to be top 5. Gamebred came out with a smile on his face. Just took off running, flew in with a flying knee. Ben Askren literally ducked right out into the knee. Gamebred already knew that Ben Askren was going to shoot for the takedown. Everybody in the whole building knew Ben Askren was going to shoot for that double leg as soon as he got a chance. He shot way too early. Masvidal flew in like a ninja and just knocked him out cold, hit him in the side of his head, followed over 2 punches that was really unnecessary. He could have did a flying walk-away knee, but he followed up with some punches, did a little tap on the ground, unsportsmanlike conduct. A lot of people was mad about it. I thought it was, whatever. I didn't really think nothing of it. But, yeah, it was that quick, man. Quickest fight in UFC history. Quick. Unbelievable. Ben Askren might be done. He was out for a while, and then when he did finally get up, he was just totally out of it. Like, it didn't even look like he was totally out of it. Almost like he never got hit before or never got punched in sparring or anything before. He's just been wrestling guys his whole career. Man, ugly for Ben Askren. He may not never recover from that. That was, man. But next we got Holly Holm versus the Lioness, the Queen, Amanda Nunes. I mean, Amanda Nunes, she arguably is the greatest female MMA fighter of all time. Arguably. I mean, actually, she's got to be. She's beat all the former champions. She beat all the female champions. You know, she beat all the best females. All of them. You know, Misha Tate, the Bullet, Shevchenko. She beat Cyborg. She beat Rousey. She beat Holly Holm. You know? I mean, good fight. Holly Holm just seemed super anxious and nervous. You know, she does that little pacing back and forth. She was doing that for about a good 20 minutes before the fight started. It was insane. You know, even when they was announcing the name, she was still pacing back and forth real fast. She damn near probably was tired by the time the fight started. And, I mean, she started off pretty quick, you know, jittering around and stuff like she normally does. You know, she was throwing a side kick to the leg that Jackson MMA fighters like to do, that little side kick to the thigh. And she was catching Amanda Nunes with it. She was having Amanda Nunes kind of like, okay, you know, Amanda Nunes adjusted. That's what I really, really liked about Amanda Nunes. She showed me that she knows how to make adjustments. She's just not some wild, strong Brazilian chick. You know, she made adjustments. She made adjustments. You could tell when she made the adjustment, Holly Holm couldn't land it like that no more. And Holly Holm got careless and did it again. Amanda Nunes threw a right round high kick to the head. It was the most beautiful right round kick. One of the most beautiful round kick KOs ever. Like, it was just perfect timing, perfect setup, just unbelievably. I mean, Holly Holm threw the side kick to the leg. And Amanda Nunes saw it. She threw the round kick at the same time. And by her pivoting on her left leg, when her right leg is going up, her legs turned. So Holly Holm missed. And then the kick caught her square right in the face, knocked her on her ass. Amanda Nunes followed up with a couple of shots. It was a wrap. Beautiful, beautiful stoppage. Unbelievable. Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. The GOAT of MMA. Man, she's going to be tough to beat. Tough to beat. Tough to beat. Then we have the main event. Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos. And I told people Thiago Santos might make this interesting. We can't overlook this guy. You know, these Brazilian dudes be hungry, especially when they ain't got no belt and been champion for a while. They be hungry. They're going to be tough to beat. You know, Thiago Santos came out. Jon Jones won a split decision. I mean, I don't even want to get into the details of the fight. A lot of people probably felt it was a boring fight. I liked it. It was a chess match. I understood what was going on. I understood both guys was dealing with injuries while they were fighting, especially Thiago. You could tell at times he was throwing them kicks and his knee was buckling and he was kind of like, but he was still fighting on. He was still dangerous. Jon Jones, he needs to work on his boxing. You know, Jon Jones needs a real boxing coach. He needs to go in the gym with some boxers and box. Because if he had some good hands, that fight would have been a lot easier. But see, when Jon Jones wasn't confident enough in his hands, his boxing, so whenever he threw a jab or he left his right hand in the locker. So forget it in the locker room. So we can forget about that. He left that shit at home. He didn't throw no right hands. But he should have used his jab, if anything, that long jab. But whenever he missed, Thiago would follow up with a flurry that was just, he couldn't recover in time because his reach was, you know, his recoil. Jon Jones needs a good boxing coach to work on his recoil so he can snap his punches better. So he can come back quicker to defend himself instead of him just going straight back in the line. Jon Jones looked pretty bad last night. You know, he looked pretty bad last night. Thiago Santos was more than deserving of being in the cage with him. Thiago Santos, a lot of people felt he won. You know, even though he was limping around on one leg, you know, you see the picture here that both guys are in wheelchairs and shed feet. I think we need a rematch. I think that fight warrants a rematch. You know? I don't know if the UFC will want it. I don't even know if Jon Jones will want that. Thiago Santos, he was still humble in defeat. He didn't, you know. I like Thiago Santos. I'm a fan, man. You know, I'm a fan. You know, dude is he's a killer. He's a dangerous opponent. Jon Jones, it felt like Jon Jones was going to have him at one point because Jon Jones was pretty much keeping the pressure on him, stalking him the whole fight. And he felt like it was going to, you know, maybe tire out the guy who never really went 5 rounds before. But Thiago Santos was dangerous every minute of that fight. Every second of that fight, he was dangerous. Jon Jones couldn't make no mistakes. Even when Jon Jones did have the upper hand, the momentum, even when Jon Jones kind of hurt him, he couldn't just follow up because Thiago was ready for him. Dangerous opponent. I don't see nobody else right now at light heavyweight beating this guy. You know, maybe it was a bad night for John Jones. Maybe he underestimated Thiago a little bit. Maybe the hype is getting to his head a little bit. But John Jones needs to make some adjustments in training now. His little side kicks to the leg ain't working no more. You know, he's getting his legs chopped down now. You know, we never seen John Jones get his skinny legs chopped down. Thiago was chopping them legs. You know, John Jones is going to have to make some adjustments to his overall game now. He's going to have to work with some real Muay Thai guys, you know, work with some real kickboxers, you know, to improve his striking. If he's going to stand up with a guy that long like that, you know, he did good for a guy that's, you know, considering Thiago's striking background. Muay Thai, you know, more extensive Muay Thai background. Considering that, John Jones did good. You know, John Jones is a wrestler. John Jones could have really clinched him and took him down and, you know, did what John Jones does. But John Jones chose to stand up with this guy. So he does get a lot of credit for that. But John Jones got a lot of work to do in his striking game if he wants to continue to do that. Because Israel Adesanya likely would have picked him apart if he was close enough to John Jones in strength. And I'm going to do a little video on that sometime soon. John Jones versus Israel Adesanya and how would that fight play out based off their last performances. Tell me what you guys think. UFC 239. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Is it like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.